In 1848, Karl Marx released his criticism of capitalism in his Communist Manifesto. Since then, Marxist terms have been applied to both literary and governmental topics, as well as to everyday life. Class struggle is one of the most popular and realistic struggles in the present day. Mikhail Lifshitz, a Marxian critic, said one of the cornerstones of Marxism is class struggle. Class struggle focuses on the struggle between the proletariat, who are the repressed class, and the bourgeoisie, who are the dominant class. Often class struggle can arise from the pursuit of the American dream, as is portrayed in The Great Gatsby through Jay Gatsby's life. The American dream is defined as the right to pursue any and all opportunity, even those that seem impossible. In modern times, however, this ideal has shifted from the pursuit of, say, a home or a car to excessive material wealth like that of professional athletes or celebrities. The modern American dream is shown through Jenny Humphrey's journey from proletariat to bourgeoisie through the television series Gossip Girl.
The bourgeoisie attempt to thwart the proletariat's pursuit of social mobility through hegemony, which is defined as the bourgeoisie's methods of maintaining control over the proletariat. These methods consist of alienation, oppression, and intermarriage to prevent popularity by association. Commodities, or items the upper class desires, can be employed by the lower class to overcome hegemony and work towards social mobility. In Gossip Girl, Jenny Humphrey uses gossip as a commodity to breach the social barriers. In Great Gatsby, Gatsby uses his mansion, his Rolls Royce, and name-dropping to attempt to fit and gain favor of the upper class. Our studies of the Marxist critical theory have helped us to apply to the lens of our own lives and identify where we are in the social strata.
When trying to find our place in society, we can usually define ourselves as a member of one of two classes, either the bourgeoisie or the proletariat. In The Great Gatsby, these classes are pretty clearly defined. The old money are the bourgeoisie, whereas the new money are the proletariat. While the old money and the new money are similar in that they both possess wealth, they're quite different in how they achieve this wealth and how they display it. The old money have inherited wealth and tend to showcase it in an elegant manner. The new money, those like Gatsby who have recently become wealthy, tend to display their wealth extravagantly because they're not as established as the old money. Because of the apparent distinctions between these two classes, judgment becomes commonplace. The new money find the old money pretentious. For example, Tom's purchase of polo ponies appears unnecessary to the proletariat. Also, the old money finds the new money's displays of wealth gaudy, such as when Tom insults Gatsby for wearing a pink suit. These clearly defined class distinctions can also be found in the series Gossip Girl. The Upper East Siders are members of the bourgeoisie. Their most defining characteristic is their excessive wealth, which leads them to receiving unmerited attention and privileges, such as their ability to purchase designer clothes or attend Ivy League schools with subpar grades. The residents of Brooklyn, like Jenny Humphrey, serve as a proletariat. Their modest lifestyles and society's tendency to ignore or forget them contrast sharply with the bourgeoisie. As members of the proletariat, Gatsby and Jenny are unsatisfied with their social standings, so they begin to desire something more.
To figure out where we belong in society, we have to determine what we want most in life. Do we want to cross the class barrier like Jay Gatsby wanted to? Do we desire excessive wealth and fame like the Upper East Siders? Or do we want a simpler community where everyone is equal? To determine which of these ones aligns most with our desires, we have to take what we think and apply it to the American dream. If we feel the need to social climb or rise above our station, we might relate more to Jay Gatsby's American dream of taking on and achieving anything, even the seemingly impossible. In Gatsby's case, he worked towards gaining acceptance into as well as the respect of the upper class. If we prefer material wealth and recognition rather than social prestige in the eyes of the upper class, then we could say we align more with the modern American dream, which is defined as seeking wealth and fame like that of celebrities rather than social status of the aristocrats. If neither of these sound particularly appealing, then we can turn to the dream of Jenny Humphrey, the protagonist of Gossip Girl who went against the traditionally accepted American dream. Jenny rather sought a more egalitarian society, where the classes could live in harmony. She wanted to keep her status and cultural identity, while creating a society where the wealthy at her school would treat her as a social, academic, and cultural equal. To do so, she had to compete against bourgeois students to be the queen of their high school and rise above the bourgeoisie to create a state of equality. Once we decide where we can align our desires, we can get a step closer to finding our place in society.
Commodities are key tools the lower class members must employ if they wish to migrate to the upper class. By possessing items the bourgeoisie desire, the proletariat can show they are of use to the upper class. In Great Gatsby, Gatsby accumulated a massive amount of wealth and his used wealth to invest in his mansion and his Rolls Royce. He also name-dropped his education at Oxford by stating he was an Oxford man. This is a school the bourgeoisie attend, and by stating he went there too, he could imply that he was one of them. He did not actually attend the university, but his time spent there for a few months meant he could truthfully say he went there. He also spent some time in the military, which can help a man earn some respect. Gatsby's use of commodities enabled him to appear to be a member of the bourgeoisie, even though he was actually just a proletariat. His use of commodities to create an upstanding portrayal of his ultimately fell through, and he was unsuccessful in carrying him to the upper class. In Gossip Girl, the upper class feed off of gossip. Jenny Humphrey uses this as a commodity to gain the favor of the upper class and prove her usefulness. In the competition for Flair's successor as head of the bourgeoisie, Jenny has to attempt to find the best gossip in order to win the crown. This is the key to achieving social mobility. The commodity is so powerful that she could potentially migrate from proletariat to queen of the bourgeoisie. The queen competition is foiled by Gossip Girl releasing several secrets and throwing the bourgeoisie into a state of chaos. But Jenny's accumulation of gossip before this event was invaluable in her success with social mobility. In the pursuit of social mobility, commodities are necessary for one to have a chance of migrating from lower to upper class. Sometimes they are enough to be successful, as with Jenny Humphrey. However, things don't always work out, as with Gatsby, because the social barriers are just too strong.
On the road to finding our place in society, we will most likely face many obstacles. These obstacles, when inflicted upon the proletariat by the bourgeoisie, are called hegemony. In The Great Gatsby and in Gossip Girl, we witnessed hegemony in many forms. The most frequent forms we saw were class-based discrimination and alienation. The bourgeoisie have a tendency to assert their dominance over members of the proletariat because of their lower social status. In Gossip Girl, Jenny's oppressed by the Upper East Siders purely because she's from Brooklyn and lacks the family history and the excessive wealth that the bourgeoisie have. Similarly, in The Great Gatsby, Gatsby is ostracized because the bourgeoisie believe that he acquired his wealth through dishonest means, and therefore lacks the character that the bourgeoisie possess. The old money have inherited family money, like those in Gossip Girl, and are more respectable because their families have accumulated respect over generations. In contrast, Jack Gatsby acquired his money through the sale of illegal alcohol during the Prohibition, as many members of the New Money did. In Gossip Girl, the proletariat are often alienated by the upper class. In the graduation ceremony, there are crews of paparazzi fawning over the Upper East Siders, whereas Dan is completely forgotten from the list of those graduating. And when they actually made the correction, they misspelled his name and said Dawn instead of Dan. Dan, like many other proletariat, is ignored and treated as lesser. Jenny is ignored at the graduation ceremony and is pictured off to the side in the doorway, separate from everyone else. She is accompanied by Eric van der Woodsen, who is the brother of a member of the bourgeoisie. He's alienated because he's viewed as lesser or flawed because of his history of mental illness. The bourgeoisie have no regard for the proletariat and do not see them as equals.
Through our research of the Marxist critical theory, we gained a better understanding of literature as well as our lives. We originally chose the topic because we had studied the works of Karl Marx in history and thought it would be interesting to analyze power structures in literature. We wish to accomplish a well-rounded understanding of Marxism in both classical literary works as well as contemporary works. We soon realized that the theory was more prevalent in real life than we had previously thought. The Marxist critical theory is very important in discerning one's place in society, politically, socially, and economically. It also has great value in understanding societal structures portrayed in literature. We do believe that we were successful in gaining a deep understanding of Marxism and how to apply it to both literature and pop culture. Now I can't help identifying power structures and instances of hegemony in everyday life. This project has given us something that we can carry forward into the remainder of our academic careers and also our lives in general.
Applying the Marxist critical lens to my life has given me some enlightenment regarding my place in society. As a student of St. Joseph's Academy who can afford tuition, I'm clearly a member of the bourgeoisie financially. I also feel that as an AP student and a student with a high ACT score, I'm academically bourgeoisie. Acknowledging my place has helped me to be more grateful for things I have and has opened my eyes to how privileged I truly am. It's fun to make a satire of things in Gossip Girl, but truly I am a member of the bourgeoisie, and I need to be mindful of that. Socially, however, I feel like in the past I've associated more with the proletariat, which has led to some conflict in my life as I'm split between the classes. I can remember freshman year lacking the popularity and friend base everyone else seemed to have. While I had similar income and intelligence to the social bourgeoisie, I feel like my journey since then has reflected the possibility of social mobility, and I've accumulated several good friends and feel relatively well known at St. Joseph's. My American dream was to have friends and be known and liked, and like Jenny Humphrey, I have achieved my goal.